Good afternoon, good afternoon. I've just been to Smith's Garden Centre, no relation whatsoever, and I went there hoping that they would have massively reduced all their Christmassy stuff prices. Well, they've reduced them, but not massively, and yeah, I have to say that the stuff they've got left, it might be a reason that no one had bought it earlier. Anyway, what I did buy was I bought some seeds for next year. Runner beans and some bolt hardy beetroot and various things. So that was all good. And look at the glorious weather we're enjoying today. You know, this is December the 27th. And yeah, it's pleasantly warm. Well, we'll wait for the green man to come on before we cross the road. In my travels, I do try to find things that I think tourists might like to visit, and well, to be honest, this part of Grays is not really famed for tourist attractions. But we'll just have a quick look. This year, for the 100th anniversary of the end of the First World War, a lot of places started acquiring these Tommies. Yeah, okay. And this is the memorial to the men of this parish who fell in the Great War. Is any war great? Great in the sense of huge, of big. I don't know great in the sense of lovely or fun or anything like that. And of course these wreaths were laid in November, and it's topped with a very simple-ish sort of cross. And just for reference, this stands at the corner of the Chadwell Road and Rectory Road, which, as we all know, is unsuitable for HGVs. It's not particularly good for bicycles either. Making new friends in France, in very rural France, where people really haven't left the town in generations, some of them. Many of them have said, how do the English celebrate Christmas? And of course, different people celebrate it differently, and that's about as much contrast as you can get, isn't it? One house all flashy and bright, one house not. Good morning to you, good morning. It's, oh crikey, December 2018, what day is it? Friday, 28th. Part of the reason for coming back to England is to start de-junkifying some of the stuff that got moved from Leigh-on-Sea to temporary storage and trying to make sense out of it. Things that need to go to France. Yeah, where to start? Crikey. Oh Lord. Lord, give me strength, patience and wisdom. What do I need in France immediately? What stays here? What needs unstacking? Well, that bed is going to France, but not this next time. What will be going to France though is some of my fancy glass, and I promised a lady in France that I would take my decent iron and teach a little bit of glass work. But, you know, moving out of Lee was not perhaps as well organised as it should have been. So we'll take a bit of time and try and get some organising done. And it will be a journey of discovery. I think one of the first things I'm going to do is knock apart some of these. These were some temporary shelves that I'd knocked up in Lee, and they will provide some material for making boxes. Well, hopefully I don't need to be looking in places like this. That's a bit scary, isn't it? A Range Rover, £995. Crikey. Yeah, I've just popped into the garage over there and booked the trusty Skoda in for its Ministry of Transport test. That was one of the important reasons for coming back this time of year. I'm hoping that she'll just sail through it. During last year we had some fun with the Skoda. Her front suspension needed a complete replacement, which was a bit of a shock to the system, it may be said. Yeah, I'm not ready to buy a bicycle yet either. So there we are, that's the first job for today ticked off. I will just advertise this company. I've got no financial interest in them whatsoever, but I've always found them very, very helpful. Sort of place that you say, have you got? And he says, hang on a minute, and he goes and finds you the light bulb for an out-of-date lamp fitting. Always very cheerful, very pleasant people to do business with. Good morning, good morning. Where are we today? Well, it's obviously somebody's birthday, but it's not mine because I'm not 50. Slow down a bit. We are on the A13 going through past Pitsea in the fog. It's not particularly foggy, but you know, a little bit. Today is a special day for those of us that go to the sort of place that I'm about to go to. It's the day we remember the Holy Family, and the Christmas holiday is very much a time for spending with family and with friends. So I'm going to be with some friends for the next hour or so. Yeah, we're going to Benfleet, and specifically to St Mary the Virgin Church. So, might see some interesting things. And we're still on the A13, but now it's sort of running through Benfleet. We're coming up to what I always think of as tar pots. On this corner is a pub, which is now branded as the Harvester. Used to be the Tar Pots, and I don't know if you saw that, over the door is a big tar pot. Drop down into Benfleet proper. There's a sign there asking us to drive carefully. Well, I think that's a good piece of advice. Chap walking his dog. a lady walking her dog. Yeah. Dogs have to be walked. Oh dear, diesel, 131.9 a litre. Now the good news is that on a Sunday you don't have to pay to park here. And there we see the Church of St Mary the Virgin. Now the trick is to cross the road without getting run over. Well, just like the churches in France, there is, of course, a crib. And the church is still very much decorated for Christmas because, of course, we still very much are in Christmas. Christmas tide. Good morning, Father.
Good morning.
How are you today?
All right.
Good.
Yes,
Good.
yes. Welcome to St. Mary's and the Feast of the Holy Family.
We knew that.
Yeah, of course you did, yes.
Yes.